Hello and welcome to this little intermission with the half. Sometimes we don't have the time to do a full episode of the podcast, so we add these smaller, just random videos, intermissions, where we basically talk about whatever we feel like. And today I'm gonna rant a bit about the talent system and the talents of my characters. We had a prepatch for Midnight a week ago, and with that came the new talents. So a lot of the talents were resetted, and I'll touch upon that later on. But anyway, there has been some minor changes to how the talents work, and I also want to start out with how talents has changed since back in the day when I know that a lot of our listeners were playing, like at the start of Cataclysm, basically. So let's take a look at the talent tree of Grimner, my elemental shaman. As you can see, we now have three different talent trees. They differ quite a lot from how it was handled back in the raid days of, say, Lich King. We can start with the one on the left first. This is the general shaman talent tree. This is a talent tree that is the same for all three specs of the shaman. It contains utility things, some skills, basically things that will help you no matter what your spec is about. It can add some extra DPS or some mitigation or some CC or those kind of effects. For example, we have the Earth Shield and healing things. We have things like, where is Cleanse? There's Cleanse. There is Cleanse Spirit. Cleanse, which removes curse effects on people. Most of this is things I never use because I don't find it necessary to actually use any of them in the situations where I play. I play quite casual, and I'm mostly doing, like, the top content I've done is looking for raid nowadays. So this might not apply to, like, say, mythic dungeons or normal raids or heroic raids or whatever tiers of raiding they have added that I have not touched. Might be more of a thing. Also, definitely this affects a lot of PvP, because you have some area of effect stuns, you have Hex, you have Frost Shock that lowers movement speed, and those kind of things. But overall, this tree here is not something I bother with at all. Got some utility like this Ghost Wolf Snare and movement speed, which makes traveling the world easier. You have, of course, Chain Lightning, which is one of the most important spells in all the universe. But overall, it's the left side of almost all classes are quite boring, in my opinion. It is things, I get a point in it, and yeah, okay, I get an Earth Grab Totem. I don't know why I need an Earth Grab Totem, but I need to place the points, a certain amount of points in the upper, not quarter, third, to gain access to the second third and the final third of the tree. So it's just like 90% of this is not talents I actually care about. Which is the quite opposite to the right side, which is the specialization talent tree, which is bound to each specialization. In this case, enhancement, elemental, and restoration. I, as an elemental shaman, want to throw as much lightning as possible, as dwarvenly possible even. So I have spec'd into every single talent that gives me bonus to lightning strike, chain lightning, or anything other lightning related. Sadly, I also have had to do some things into the fire spells because the talent tree requires me to do so. But that also highlights the flaw of this, because I don't really have a choice of where I place my talents. When I'm max level, this is my talent tree. I have no option to change it. I have no option to customize it to fit my playstyle more than I've ignored everything that is fire-based and just focused on lightning spells. As you can see, there's not really much of the tree that isn't actually activated. Because, yeah, you only have that many points and it's filled out. So, in terms of choice and specialization in the elemental tree, it's quite boring. I mean, I have the choice of either doing charged conduit here on the bottom, or put 2 points in crackling fury. And that's about the choice I have to make. Because all these other things are flame things, like flame weapons, flame shock, flame lava burst, flame shock, and even more volcanic things. And it's fine, I guess. I mean, the build is fun. I get to throw a lot of lightning. But then again, I can't really mess around in the talent trees to come up with something of my own, like I could back in the Wrath of the Lich King days, for example. Also, during the pre-patch, they took and resetted a lot of our talents. They changed a lot of talents. I can't say for certain which talents they changed, because the talents are spread out so much that it is difficult to actually gain an overview of what talent does what, because a talent can do a lot of things. Elemental Resonance or Thunderstrike Wood does things here, for example. But I have no idea if that ties up with some other thing up here, and you have hidden things, and you have... It's a lot of like small things and bonuses and references. For example, up here in the beginning of when you do things, you reference at points, skills and abilities you gain at a later level. Mostly because you level up so quickly that you will get to this level quite quickly. But it's quite confusing to read the talent trees nowadays, I think. But anyway, what they did do during this pre-patch was that I think they simplified the amount of things you had, because I have lost 3 skills. At least I can't find it in the talent tree anymore. 3 skills that I previously used that no longer exist. For example, the lightning lasso, which was a cool lightning lasso stun thing with a dot. Quite cool. I could summon a storm elemental that fired lightning next to me. And I had a liquid magma totem that might be on the left side, but I'm not certain. Those are just gone. I don't know why. I don't know how, or I don't know the reason to why they had removed them, because this one gave me a nice AoE dot that I could help out on with. Lightning lasso, just a cool skill, I never used it. And the storm element was also like, it's fun to do your burst rotations. Like now I pop my trinkets and I pop my cooldowns, and this no longer happens. I think the storm elemental is now baked into my Stormkeeper, which is basically I cast this in preparation to cast a lightning bolt with more damage. What do you call it? Charge yourself with lightning, causing your next 1 lightning bolts to deal 100% more damage, and also cause you the next 1 lightning bolt or chain lightning to be instant cast, triggering elemental overload on every target. That one was, I think, 2 or 3 free cast, or rather, instant cast previously, while now it's just 1, and it's also with another talent. Is it this one? Yeah, no. Yeah, it summons a greatest storm elemental that has gusting winds that generates for 12 seconds. So they condensed it. Same thing with my lightning shield. I don't know, there's a talent somewhere in here that basically it basically casts all the buffs I have, like lightning shield. I have my thunderstrike ward, my earth shield, and was Skyfire, the new wind fury kind of buff that you have. All those 4 are now cast by just casting lightning shield. So it's very much simplification. And I guess that also sort of is the change that they have done on the rest of the 3, but I don't know about it because it was quite confusing to see what each talent was about previously. And this is sort of the feeling I have for all the classes I've played, that the simplification has happened. We will take a look at both the rogue and the warrior as well. But before we do that, I want to highlight the middle section. And the middle section was new for the War Within. Basically, as you leveled up in the War Within, you filled out this tree, which was a start, an end, and 9 points in between. With the prepatch, another 3 has arrived, and we have not gotten the points yet to actually fill all of this out. I would assume we do that during midnight progression. But anyway, each class has access to 3 of these heroic talent trees. Each spec can choose between 2. I have the option as Farseer or Stormbringer. Of course, I choose Stormbringer because it's more lightning. And basically, you just fill this out and you got cool little things. It's even more math and names and effects and stacking, and if you throw this and do that, and after 5 magical mastery runes you get a lightning buff strike that does da. It's a lot of like that, because it's not as clear cut as, oh, this gives you 5% more crit. It's nothing like that anymore. Everything should be this special thing that stacks and adds to it. It feels like a Magic the Gathering kind of thing, or any kind of those like card games where you try to stack cards to get a cool effect. But since you don't have any choice, you get all of the heroic talents. You get most of the spec talents. You already like deck everything out. You can't create your own immersed build where you actually choose and specialize into a certain aspect of your class. Well, you do that with a specialization, of course, but that is basically just changing how you play your class. If you want to bonk things, throw lightning at things, or heal things. But since that choice is already made as soon as you choose a specialization, you don't really do a choice there. You just basically play another class, the healing shaman class or the ranged DPS shaman class. It's a lot of choice without any choice in these talent trees. I don't remember exactly how many points you get in each, but you can see that it's about half of the shaman talents and most of the spec talents, while it's still simplifying it even more, even though that's the thing, it's both complex and super simple at the same time. Anyhow, let's take a look at my rogue and how that changed a bit. Then you'll see a comparison to what we have here. So, be right back. Hello and welcome back to my rogue. And here, let's see, talents and spells. Here, I am playing as an assassin rogue. I played this mostly during the War Within, and also the Dragonflight expansion. It has changed quite a bit from how it was previously. It was very crit based, and you did a lot of like backstabbing damage and mutilate and all that. Now it has become what I would say subtlety was previously. It's more focused on dots, like rupture, garrote, poisons, that kind of thing, which I, in at least Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King, would have mainly put in subtlety. Anyway, what did I do here? I think this was mostly unchanged. The rogue, compared to the elemental shaman, the rogue one actually has a bit more of a choice to make. I actually feel the difficulty of actually choosing talents here, because both sides, like most of these talents, are nice, because you have talents that enhance your poisons or talents that enhance your bleeds. And when it comes to dots, the more dots you have, the better it is, because that's more ticks, that's more damage. I mean, it's still the same, like this side here, not really. I mean, it's... Yet rogue actually has a lot better choices. Like, do you want to have Tizzlety to refresh your energy? Or do you want to have extra combo points so you can enhance your envenom a bit more? Or like having a 6 or 7 combo point rupture? It's more of a hard choice when it comes to rogue, because you have all those, like, you want everything, but you can't have it, and that I do like from a talent tree. This I don't feel at all in the elemental shaman, because I just want to throw lightning, so I ignore all the fire spells. But here I want to use both the poisons and the bleeds, and the utility, and the extra damage that you can get on mutilates and that kind of things. I mean, the only thing I have chosen or ignored, like, you bleed weapon poison out of nature, increase 50 against targets below 35%. I mean, that's a lot. I think even if you put 2 points in this, it's like 30% extra damage against targets below 35%. But again, it's below 35%. I rather have it all the time. And I mean, there's a lot of these, like, finish move has 3% chance per combo point to spend, increasing your critical strike strength for 6%. It's... You want to have everything, because crit is nice and poison is nice, and this is a fun talent tree to have. It still has the same problem, I would say, compared to the old Lich King and TBC things, is that you don't really have a choice to branch out of it and create something unique. It's either just, do you want poison or do you want bleed? That's your choice, nothing else. But it's still better than the elemental shaman. Same thing with the rogue talent tree. It also has a bit of choice. Like, what kind do you want? Wound poisons? Do you want Tizzlety? What do you want to be more sneaky? Those kind of things. It's also like the PvP aspect. I'm currently PvE server, so I don't really care about the PvP aspect here. But you have the choices to spec in accordance to what you want to play. And I think that is good. What I don't think is good is the Hero 3. Like, the Hero 3s here, we have Fatebound, which is RNG. And you have this, which I don't even know what it does, actually. To be honest, the Hero 3s in all classes are boring, because it's just, oh, you will get these. I could have those skills as something I level up and get, rather than having it as a talent tree, because there is no choice. It's nice that it's there. It's a power progression, but it isn't needed in most cases. It could be added with gear. It could be added with just new skills, rather than having it as a talent tree. But overall, I'm really happy with the changes to Rogue. I want... There's a... Is it this? No. Yes, it is. This one, which allowed me to add an additional lethal and non-lethal poison to your weapon, so you could have 4 poisons rather than 2 poisons. This one was, I think it was quite early on previously. Now it's one of the finishing things, and it makes such a difference to the rest of the tree that you really, really want to pursue this one. And that means that you can't pursue the other 2 branches. So it's a really good incentive to, how do you want to play your rogue? What do you want to focus on? And I do like that. So overall, super, super happy with the rogue tree. And I'll take a look. Let's take a final look at my warrior as well, because that is another thing. Because I'm currently leveling up my warrior. So I'll be right back with my warrior. Okay, my warrior is on leveling. So she is 48 at the moment. So she has not progressed through the talent tree. She has absolutely not unlocked the heroic talent trees, which you don't. I guess you unlock them at around level 60 now. Probably around level 60. But yep, she was affected by the whole change in talent trees as well. I didn't get much of the effect because I think she had gone to like this kind of level. I played her. She was like 15 when I picked her up again. But I did feel the changes anyway. Previously, I had access to slam. This has now been removed. I'm playing protection, which is actually quite viable compared to what it was previously. When we played in Wrath of the Lich King. No, Wrath of the Lich King, you could actually play protection in a sort of leveling kind of way. You actually made damage then. But Burning Crusade, like, it took ages to kill anything as a protection warrior. So it wasn't really worth to do it. If you was a bit of a masochist, you could play a protection warrior and grind all the way up. But Arms of Fury would probably be better. Now you can do everything as a protection warrior, and it's very, very fun because you can tank a large amount of mobs at the same time. Getting that XP bonus by just being tenacious. But I started out playing her. I had a great time. It was just whacking things left and right. Of course, I was level 15, and you get a bit of a power boost back then, where you basically insta-kill everything. But you had almost always full rage. You almost had you could do things with it without an issue. And if you had your like shield slam and thunderclap and those on cooldown, you could always dump your rage in slams to do extra damage than compared to say revenge. I don't even know if revenge was a skill you could use or if it was only for proc. I don't remember. I think you could use it. Anyway, they removed slam for some reason. So my damage output dropped, which made my leveling more difficult. But then again, it also depends on the gear you get and the level progression you get and stuff like that. It sort of catches up to you as you progress, because the problem with progression is that you progress faster than the gear you're given. So you can gain, say, 5 levels and outlevel your gear, but in that time you have only gained 2 pieces of gear. So you end up with a very, very large mismatch in stats between, say, your headpiece and your weapon. This, after prepatch, has of course been mitigated a bit because you've done a whole stat smush again. So even at higher level, the gap between a high level item and a low level item is not as big as 2 mid-tier items was previously, which is good. But anyway, I think, in this case, there are a lot of talents I want to have, and as I work my way down, it's basically just choosing how I want to survive as my warrior. If I want to be tanky and just take less damage, or if I want to heal more damage, or if I want to avoid more damage. That's the the three things I think I can do a choice with here. For example, here I have armor. Yeah, well, this is like deep wound, and you deep wound damage, rend damage, and basically you heal from your bleeds, which I've gone to. On the left side, it's still the same as the Elemental Shaman, I think. It has a bit more interesting things because your class isn't really designed to do three very, very different things like the Shaman is. I think the Shaman suffers because it has healing, melee DPS, and ranged DPS. While the Warrior, even if it's a tank, it's still a melee DPS. It's just a melee DPS with survivability compared to a melee DPS without survivability. I've also played a Fury Warrior a bit, and the Fury Warrior, I don't run out of rage at all. I'm at 100, like every attack I make gives me rage, and I have nothing to dump my rage into, at least last I played it. I don't know how that works. While as a tank, I'm more rage starved because I still get the rage from being hit rather than hitting things. Thunderclap and Shield Slam generate rage, so I can do some other things, but mostly it's from actually taking damage. And I think, leveling it up here, I think the choices are quite nice, but it's not. The choice I only have here is where should I put my next point. It's not should I put it in this one or this one in case I actually... It's not a hard choice. Like, if I put it in this one, I will lose out on this one. It's just, I put on this one first and then I take this one next time. That's about it. I haven't really looked into the later talents yet. Because, well, it's I don't really feel like I need to plan out my talent build. And with the fact that I can just redistribute my talents nilly-willy nowadays, it's not the same impact of choosing your talent as it was previously. But considering how the game plays nowadays, I think this is a nice way of handling it, because you can just change specialization, you can change your talents, you can change more or less anything on the go as it suits your whim, which is nice and gives choice to the player. But then again, the choices diminish and you don't have the same impact of choosing, okay, I know that it's a long time until I get my next talent point. If I put it wrong, I need to pay a certain amount of gold to undo that. Those kind of, like, the impactfulness of getting a new talent is no longer here, because you know that you will get most of it and it doesn't really matter. So it's not the anticipation of gaining a new talent. I mean, I played some yesterday on my level warrior, and I think I took her from level 43 to level 48 within 1 or 2 hours, just doing the pre-patch content, the like going up killing bosses in Twilight Hinterlands, and it's not really... Yeah, I gained talent. It didn't really affect me. I didn't really enjoy that. Oh, I got a new talent. It didn't really matter, because the difference from me being level 43 to being level 48 is minuscule at the moment. And by the end, by the time I reach 80, I will have access to everything, and I will apparently reach 80 quite soon with the current way you level. So, good, bad, it's up to you to decide, I would say. Thank you for listening to my rant about talents. I have no idea if it gave you anything, but hopefully it did. Hopefully you get a bit either psyched or frustrated about talents and can see the potential of actually trying it out. So do it. Do join my Midnight. Take a look at WoW. It's resub for a month. try something new. It is fun, it's just different. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time on Elf and a Half.